Unbelievers recognize this fact. The poor of the world see America for what she really is. Only Christians seem unable to see, so that in them is fulfilled the words of Jesus when he said, "For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and I should heal them." Matthew 13:15. And again when he said, "The children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light." Luke 16:8. The question that begs to be asked is, what makes Christians not recognize what unbelievers so plainly see? What makes them think that they can ally themselves with this monster? The reason is, Christians are dazzled by America's beauty. They are thrilled by her presence. They are sick with desire for her, like a man sick with sexual desire for a strange and beautiful woman. And in their lust for her, they have forsaken the one to whom they were rightfully betrothed, and have gone whoring after the world. But the Bible somberly warns against such sin or worldliness.
At the window of my house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths, a young man void of understanding, passing through the street. And he went to a certain house, in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot, and subtle of heart. So she caught him, and kissed him, and said unto him, I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with love. With her fair speech she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forced him. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteneth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths. For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death.
Plainly, the leaders of today's church have been seduced by the beauty of Babylon the Great. They have been bewitched by her enchantments, corrupted by her eroticism and sensuality. In short, they've been deceived. Of course, one might fairly ask, how is it possible that so many Christians could have allowed themselves to be so dull spiritually that they have become such easy targets for this deception? The answer is apostasy. Apostasy is not necessarily false doctrine and or sin, though it can be this. And there can be no question that these things inevitably follow in the wake of apostasy. But rather, apostasy is, in the first instance, the falling away of Christians from a view of themselves as citizens of Christ's heavenly kingdom to a view of themselves as citizens of the kingdom of this world. The Bible says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day," that is to say, the day of the rapture and the resurrection, "shall not come except there come a falling away or apostasy first." 2 Thessalonians 2:3. And listen to me here, brothers and sisters. That apostasy is upon us now, and is evidenced by the fact that so many of us have become involved in politics. If we truly are aliens to this world, as the scriptures so plainly declare we are, What should we have to do with its politics? Nothing, of course. Nonetheless, that's what millions and millions of Christians in the United States have involved themselves in, as they are attempting right now to bring the country back to Christ and the church.
For a Christian not to vote is a sin.
To get involved politically in the land we say we are leaving is to reveal ourselves as nothing more than frauds, people who don't really intend to leave. And unbelievers have a stubborn and pernicious way of noticing such inconsistencies. And then we have the chutzpah and temerity to wonder why we are so ineffectual in leading people to Christ. It's wealth which blinds us to the transitory nature of our connection to this world, and which leads us into apostasy. Apostasy inevitably develops when Christians, because of their worldly comfort and wealth, or simply their desire for material things, refuse to acknowledge in word, deed, or action the fact that they are merely pilgrims and strangers, aliens to this world and this present life. It is the desire for material things which diverts Christians from their journey, from seeing this world as merely a way station on their path towards a better world. Paul wasn't just kidding around when he said, quote, "For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment or clothing, let us be therewith content. For they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil." Listen to me. All evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. 2 Timothy 6, 7 through 10. Speaking of those who have given up on viewing themselves as citizens of heaven, and have reverted back to seeing themselves as citizens of this world, Paul said, "For I have told you often before, and I say it again now with tears in my eyes, there are many who walk along the Christian road who have become the enemies of the cross of Christ. Their future is loss, for all they think about is this life here on earth." Philippians 3, 18 through 19, Amplified. When one begins to perceive this present world as one's permanent abode, then one cannot help but try to make himself comfortable in it, which leads one inevitably to embrace a form of Christianity that is frivolous and superficial.